Yes, this is the Rastafari Samurai, never leaving you dry in your eye. I approve this message nationwide, seen with my brother Sean Myrie. You don't know, man. We
Yeah,
are here
man.
for some news, D2E news, updates. You know what I mean? Media and all of that. This is the news for
Well,
today's May. What is it? May 6th,
seventh,
7th.
seventh.
May 7th. May 7th. You don't know. D2E News. Where you going, Sean?
Well, we're gonna talk about something we had a conversation a couple times about, right?
What's that again?
About not we're gonna talk about music industry, but we're talking about the local industry.
What about
The
it?
the the blueprint, like Maestro, like Mishimi, Drake,
So you're talking about Toronto hip hop.
Socrates. I don't really like talking about Toronto hip hop, but I gotta say this because we do support the local
Well,
scene, right?
Toronto is home. So
Toronto is home.
you can't deny that. Regardless how we feel or not, Toronto
Yeah.
is home. So
So remember you said that Toronto's really a rock city
damn straight it is.
because the venues cater to them, right? A lot of the venues cater to them, radio stations cater to them,
Yep.
right? Okay, that's rock. Now we're gonna get into the urban now.
Mhm.
Now, what do you think? I asked you this earlier. What do you think is more in the urban sector? The supported. Okay, not saying supported, but I say reggae or and dancehall or hip hop. Which one? Which one is really our city? Isn't I'm saying that Toronto's more of a dancehall reggae city more than
Listen,
more than hip hop, more
straight
than
up,
hip hop.
straight up good. It's a rock city, okay? And the thing is, when it comes to reggae, it could be more adaptive because reggae does a lot of live sound, right? And rock deals with a lot of live sound. And I'm not gonna pick the funk bands. So if there's a lot of rock bands here, right? That means say they can read the music and they manipulate the music. So that means say they could easily say, for instance, a reggae artist here, right?
Mm.
They don't necessarily need the DJ as long as they have a band and they know the music and they can play any rhythm. There you go, guy.
So before, besides, we take out Drake and Tory Lanez out the equation. Before that, right? Reggae is still bigger than hip hop in Toronto.
From long time,
No one's
like
talking about
no,
that.
from long time. Because you know why? Because I'm just gonna say what it is, straight up. You could have a you see reggae people there. They love their reggae music and all that, but most likely you're not gonna have. Maybe you might have a few might go to over crossover, but you see now, the crossover will be from hip hop to reggae, no problem. You'll have them, no problem. But a reggae person, the crossover, I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's why I say when the events, parties, and stuff like that, when it comes to reggae, is more fill up,
And dancehall, we're
sold
putting
out.
dancehall and reggae together. We're putting
Yeah, that's what I'm
dancehall and
saying.
reggae
More
together. Yeah.
filled up, sold out. You get what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Hip hop too, but not on the regular like dancehall and roots reggae.
Because
Always,
let's be
always
straight up.
ram up.
Let's be straight up. Toronto's a West Indian background city, and a lot of
That's right.
Jamaicans
That too.
influence even the hip hop.
That's right. We're not, we watch the Americans. We're American influence, but we're not American society.
But what I'm trying to say is that Jamaicans are big in Toronto, right?
Yeah, but not only that, because of our cultural influence.
So when I'm saying, I'm not saying hip hop's not big around the world, but in Toronto, locally, it's not as big what people think. The blogs may make it look like that, but all these reggae artists are dancehall artists from Toronto or even Canada. I guarantee they're on the radio. I guarantee.
Oh,
I'm
no
just saying
doubt,
they're on the radio.
no doubt,
They don't rely on blogs and pages.
no doubt. They're no doubt. Yeah, they're on the.
Okay, I'm
On
gonna
the
say some names.
constantly.
I'm gonna say some names, and this is proof.
What's
Because
that?
we're not just talking like some people would just talk. Esco Levi on the radio,
Kirk
right?
Knighton.
Kirk Diamonds, Blessed on the radio constantly, and that's big. And they're making royalties on the radio bigger than any streams. Amoy on the
Amoy.
radio, ISIS on the radio. The list goes on. King Uja on the radio. And there's unknowns, like ones you don't really know about, and they're on the radio more than some of these so-called big hip hop artists in Toronto. Let's
And another thing is, I'm gonna say what it is. They get a lot more gigs around the world than hip underground hip hop artists.
yeah, how much?
Underground reggae artists will have more gigs than an underground hip hop artist
It's true.
who's not on
Because
the main.
I seen it even around the world. Some like not I don't want to say unknown, but not known reggae artists or dancehall artists from Jamaica go tour in Europe, and they would be considered underground. They're all from Jamaica, leaving Jamaica, little Jamaica, going all to France and all those things. I don't
Mhm.
see that from anyone from here, from the so-called underground hip hop scene. You don't see people going to London and all this. The only ones you see doing that is Pressa, and he's not underground. Pressa's commercial.
That's right.
All the guys yeah, all these guys you see traveling from here ain't commercial anymore. I mean, ain't underground anymore. So who's underground from who's commercial? That's what people have to have a better definition of. Who's underground from commercial?
Well, speaking of underground, we were just talking to our brothers over the states. There, that shit heavy podcast,
Yeah,
and
bless
we
up to them.
asked them, bless up to them. Please subscribe to their channels. But anyway, we brought up a question to them. Okay, that
What did they
how,
know of the underground here?
what did they know
Okay, go
about
on.
the underground hip hop of Toronto, Canada, compared to when we knew about underground hip hop over in the states? No problem. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We could name how many names. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
concept.
But them, when we asked them, they only knew the mainstream.
Yeah,
The
Drake,
mainstream. Drake,
Tory
Tory
Lanez,
Lanez, you know
and
what I mean?
whoever else is like
Yeah,
around.
you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? That comes to show me something right there. They don't. I don't know. Like the infrastructure here needs to be more better. You know what I mean? Straight
Yeah.
up. Like I don't care if you're not on the mainstream. It still has to be better because in order to get to the mainstream, you got to go through the underground.
What is the underground here?
What's that?
What is really the underground? Because I see many different types of undergrounds here.
Mm,
Because
mm.
I could see a underground, for example, they consider like D2E and these guys who you hear about on all these blogs underground here. But then we know people who are more underground than that, who do the shows. There's
Hold
two
up a
different
second.
they're
Wait,
considering these guys on the blog pages
hold up
underground.
a second. But the blogs ain't what is it only for here or something? Because like I said, I just told you, the ones in the states that don't know nothing about them.
It's true.
So how is the blogs going here? Is it really going,
Yeah, right.
or is
No,
it just
because
going around here?
it's just going around here. You're right.
All right. Then.
They're not like what we do, like down to earth, reach out to people everywhere. It's mostly concentrated content about Toronto. That's what's hurting. See, this is one of the last episodes we're going to be mentioning Toronto, because what goes on is when you keep talking about it, you keep yourself in a box. And if you're saying hip hop, you're for a hip hop culture. You'll be talking about stories, what's going on, where the hip hop, the center of hip hop is going on. Like I know Nas is gonna do a tour. We know there was a tour with who knows that Snoop, Ice Cube, Too Short, and 40 have a group, huh?
Yeah.
How much people know that they have a group called Mount Rushmore? That's considered underground. Do you know about that group?
Who?
Mount Rushmore, the group, the West, Ice Cube,
Oh
Snoop,
yeah.
Too Short, and E40.
Yeah.
That's an example. We know about that, but how much people from Toronto know about that unless they're really into hip hop? Do we hear anybody talking about that story, like how these guys are touring? Ice Cube came to Canada just like the other
Yeah,
day,
I know.
recently. Did
Yeah,
anybody talk about Ice
yeah,
Cube?
that's the thing. It's not the first time he came here, and how should I say he didn't come to Toronto. He went to like Aurelia or somewhere else, like the casinos.
So, but why? Why didn't he come to Toronto? People have to ask that. I've seen that before. Wu Tang done that first.
Because
Done that before.
because
Why?
he's waiting for a bigger promotion, probably a bigger
So that
stage.
means they don't. You know what
No,
that's showing you?
I'm just being honest with you. He's
But you know
waiting
what
for
that's
a
showing you?
bigger promotion, bigger stage, and all of that. None of these small venues could have Ice Cube in it.
But check this. This is Toronto.
Did you hear
He's
what I
going to.
just said? Did you
He's
hear what
going
I
to
just
the small. But check this. He's going to a small town.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Casino has
Ah.
stage. You
So
get
you
what I
tell him. So you tell me none of these people from Toronto could afford. They could afford Ice Cube. You're getting
but
Tony
the
Yayo
small
here.
yeah, but that's different. This is Ice Cube.
This Ice Cube. You're right. So
Ice
maybe.
Cube is used to the big stages. He's not. Look, he can't be doing the small venues, bro.
So you tell me. See, that's why they don't respect Toronto
Think about
like
what I'm
people think.
saying, man.
So
He can't be
Toronto.
doing the small venues. It's
So
his
Toronto.
reputation.
So Toronto really don't have that respect to what we think. It does have respect, but it doesn't have it in certain things
As the respect with money talks, bullshit walk.
because you think why wouldn't you have Ice Cube in
Because
Toronto?
the big venues can't afford it, or he'll wait until he's coming back here, but it's gonna be a big stage, and that's gonna be the beer fest.
See, big stages. So now this is what it is. Now let's go back to the music. What is respected in Toronto? Rock will get that. They'll
Yeah,
get
they'll get the big
all
stages.
the bands. They'll
They'll
all
get
get all the
they'll get the
bands,
big stage. They'll get the small stage. The bottom line is they'll get regardless. They'll get it.
right? And even some reggae artists, they'll come here and get the big only for the big stage the same way. Dancehall artists too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
They'll go to small towns and do shows. You'll see that in the summertime. You get what I mean? Like these places where there's more room for people, right?
yeah.
Now they have that.
But
What?
the thing is, it's sold out. Those are mostly sold out because it's not the big stage. Remember that. Them ram up, them sold out. Think about it. When Chesnia came to Brampton, it
Mm-mm.
was rap.
Which one? You mean to that fest? What turn
No,
out
no,
bad?
no, no,
Terrible?
not that.
Oh,
No, she came
mm.
before that. She came
Oh,
to
okay,
town.
okay. Mm.
Okay. Same thing with a few years ago, Beanie Man. Yeah, I went to that. It was in B Town. You know what I'm saying? And the sitting ram. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
It depends on who's the artist and the promo and all of that too. You know what I mean?
So what
And
do you think?
and most likely, if it is a small a venue, they most likely are not coming alone. You know what I mean?
So what do you think is the problem now for the hip hop? Because let's be honest, is there any Toronto hip hop festival that's big and known? Is it Manifesto, but it's still not respected because everybody wants this Rolling Loud. Rolling Loud is the savior for all these Toronto
But that was the one before
so-called.
going on. But that was going on before before Rolling
Yeah,
Loud even existed
and
here.
who was on Manifesto? It wasn't they wouldn't just put anybody on that show. They would put on people who's been in the industry for a while and recognized by like award shows or getting like on the radio. That's what I'm basically saying. DJs playing that. Those are the ones you'd see. You'd see like what, like Chocolate or someone like Socrates or Cardinal Official or Maestro, the local legends. You mostly see it on that, right? Now all these young guys, they're not gonna be. The last couple of years, I never heard any of these guys. I know that we had that thing going on, but I never heard any of these guys on any festival before this whole Rolling Loud thing was coming up. Never hear about. I'm talking about like these last maybe 5 years, right? So what I'm saying now is for like people are waiting for Rolling Loud, the locals, right? For hip hop. Now after the first Rolling Loud, how much people tour? That's the question. How much people left the city and used that?
The thing is, we're not using the powers here, as in the urban music, all in one. You
You're right. See what you just said there?
see, if
Yeah.
we use the all in one to have a huge festival, like having
It's
reggae,
unity. Yeah.
having R&B, having hip hop, and you
Hmm.
have all heavyweights in this festival kind of a thing, then we'll make more of a statement.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Straight
You have
up.
to have everybody: the Afrobeat artists, the reggae, the dancehall, the hip hop,
Eat it
all
all.
the urban
Dare,
music,
dare to say it. Even have a little bit of the rock in there
te-
too.
maybe techno,
Uh,
urban music
and have
festival,
and have a
urban music.
and have a bit of the rock in there too.
Yeah, urban music festival. You know
You
where
have
they
it
have that?
all in there, and have that once a year or twice a year. We'll have more of a statement.
Okay, now they
'Cause
have
now
the
you'll
other
be
thing,
showcasing the arts of all the
the
genres of the
locals
music of the
and
locals.
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're
It's
right.
not only one pocket.
You'll be all the genres of the locals because they don't have that. Now, what's gonna happen? Rolling Loud is just gonna pick out some of the hip hop artists from Toronto. But you're right. It's not enough. You need okay. They have another event at Downsview. I forgot what it's called again. Is it? I forgot.
Yeah, Vel.
Veld. Sometimes they might have a local. They might have one or two. But the whole point, like what you're saying, we need something with all the genres, the urban music genres festival,
Okay.
and that's how we're gonna get respect. We don't
Like,
have that now.
like for instance, they say this festival and all that. How about just a Canadian urban festival?
That's what you need. Yeah, Canadian Urban Festival, music festival. They don't
And
have
it's
that.
not only this city, like anybody who's Canadian
Could come.
could come
It'll be
and
like Olympics. Like Olympics. It goes cities, different cities.
mhm.
You have one in Toronto, one in Ottawa, one in Vancouver, one in Montreal, one in Alberta, one in Edmonton, wherever, right? Winnipeg. You do it like the Olympics. Every year you have the festival somewhere. So now you got to start where it really is at. Let's straight up say Toronto. And then from Toronto, you go to Ottawa, then Montreal. Then you probably go to
BC.
Winnipeg first, kind of. And after then, you go to Edmonton or Alberta, and then BC, and back again.
Mhm.
You could do that. And that will support all the local artists to make money too. You don't have to go to America. There's no big Canadian tour.
Yeah.
Think of it. We're
No.
giving the idea right now, you know. We're giving the gem right now. It's
Because
down to earth.
from that now they would see who's the best of the best to work up a world tour.
Yeah, now you're gonna see. You could have 50 artists
Canadian
on that, eh?
Canadian world tour.
Yes. So
All
but they have
Canadians.
but first they gotta build up locally. So every city has to have a festival. They
Yeah.
should be starting that from June, July, and August up to September. They could do that.
Yeah.
Before Rolling Loud comes here, we should have a Canadian festival recognizing all the Canadian talent,
Yeah.
building up ourselves first, and then they'll get then you get the respect. Right now, you know how they find the artists? Blogs and numbers on streaming sites.
Well,
That's what they determine.
we only could do as much as we can because we have the passionate for the culture and everything, and everyone appreciates what we do. You know what I mean? So we only could do as much as we can, but we only could set by example for others to step up. You know what I mean? Like straight up, like
Because
there's only so much we can do for so long. You know what I mean? Others, the youths, them have to step up on what we're doing. You know what I
so
mean?
because what's the foundation? Who has something independent? Like you could say there's an independent labels, or I know people don't go by record labels anymore, but like platforms like us, down to earth. How many platforms are really from Canada, right? Promoting the culture. There's only a limited few. People are popping up, but I mean, we're consistent. Let's be straight up. Which platform for hip hop is consistent, right, in Canada? And I'm talking with a face too. We're not talking about like pages what just posts things up and you don't know who the people are posting it. You know it's Rastafari, Samurai, and Sean Myrie. How much hip hop platforms are in Canada?
Mm, not many.
Remember there was Rap City? Gone. Remember the mix with what name there? Okay, I forget his name.
Master
See?
T.
Master T. Master T Rap City was the foundation for you to see the culture of hip hop in Canada, unless you had satellite or something.
Yep.
The mix. You know how much artists he bust from Canada? Master T, and he brought check this. He's the
Let
blueprint. Didn't Master T bring artists from other places like who came to Toronto, like artists from around the world and America? Didn't they come on the show?
Yeah,
If you were to watch it,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
When they came to Toronto, it was there they came to check, and he was the man, right? So what I'm trying to, we lost that. There's no respect for Toronto media like that anymore. Master T was the last because he got celebrities interviewed. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Okay. So that shows you. Monica Diol, remember Monica Diol too?
I
Her
think down
too.
down to Pac.
Yes. So we're naming people in the media before even this podcast stuff. We're gonna give and all this media shit for urban music in Toronto. It was what's his name? The next
That was our only outlet. That
it
and
was
video.
Monica Diol, Master T. She used to do. Remember, she used to do her show too, the dance show. What was that called?
Yeah,
Electric Circus. Remember the other guy from Rap City? I think I forgot what his
I
name
know,
was.
I know what you're talking about. The black guy there.
Yeah. And after the Oliver, was it Oliver?
I think so. Yeah.
My memory is good, guy. I think it's Oliver. And then the other Tracy, then Tracy Milcher.
Tracy Morgan.
Morgan. I made a mistake. Yeah, yeah, Morgan, right? Is it?
I think it's Tracy Morgan. I
I
think
think it was Milcher, man.
Milshire
Sorry
or
about that.
Morgan. One of them.
Yeah, either way, we're telling people these are the
It
media
was it was the
people.
little camera girl. She then after she was taking it over for a bit afterwards.
Yeah. So we're telling you
She
the
was always
foundation.
behind the camera.
This is the foundation of the media for music. We're telling you in Toronto, the people who were the faces. People used to come and these guys remember that they interviewed people.
Yeah.
Not and they used to tell you the updates for
Well,
the shows coming on.
that's how we're sort of kind of taking it like that.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
it's
I mean?
podcasts. It's a podcast
They had
platform
their
now.
headquarters and doing it, and then after they'll be on the road doing it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
media company, right?
Yeah.
And we're a podcast too, right? So what I'm saying now, what happened? That's all gone now. I know
What
television is.
happened? What happened was that they seen their ratings were going down, as in the internet came into play, CDs and stuff. Everything at the same time happened, man.
Mm.
So they just seen that. I don't know. It wasn't. I
No
guess
blogs, no blogs, and Facebook
no,
took
but I'm
over.
saying for them, for like that, I guess it wasn't as profitable.
Now because now even magazines are digital. Everything went online
Everything is
now.
digital.
So they posted information. All they just need is editors. They took pictures and posted information.
Yep.
You seen less like there's video as you see it, but you seen a less video, like there's a lot of video but in a different way. It's just the music video you're seeing. Now you have to, now it's coming back though. Artists have to get interviews, right? There's no remember MTV? They
Well,
interviewed people on
the
MTV.
way I look at it is right now, with any artist right now, you shouldn't be denying any interviews because we don't have it like that like before. You see, like before we had TV
Mhm.
and all of that. No, now it's these blogs, podcasts, and all of that. Like anybody, like don't get me wrong, they might want to do their research on you on the platform and see what kind of following you have and all that, and maybe they'll agree to it or not. But with your consistency and doing what you're doing, most likely they will agree to it if you have good content and with
Mhm.
ability of consistency.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, consistent.
Yeah, and the thing is, we just don't only do the interviews and all of that. We promote on our pages. Like
Yeah, we're
I
promoters too.
always, I always
We're
tell any
promoters.
artist, yo, like once we're done with the interview and all that, now we're sort of like family in a way. You know what I mean? And the relation is there because now that yo, I'd let them know anything new, whatever, send it our way, whatever, and all of
'Cause,
that.
yeah, we're content creators, but we're promoters, graphic design, could do video, all types of things. That's what I'm telling the universe. Like we do all types of stuff. You don't have to just put yourself in a box.
No,
So our content we promote. That's another part of our business is promoting.
that's
So
right.
if you really want, you have to look on it. When you do an interview, you should be promoting your interview.
Yeah,
That's what makes an algorithm grow, especially if you want attention, because you don't know. It's called networking. This the internet, so that's part of networking. By getting your interviews, making people, their platforms is gonna show you to other people. You don't have to even do that work. They're doing the work for you, kind of. Vice
Mm,
versa.
that's right.
You're promoting their platform.
Yeah.
Vice versa. So that's how it goes. The algorithm. You gotta work like that.
Exactly. Hand in hand, man. It goes both ways. You know what I mean? For it to work. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it not work at all.
That's what I mean. So like we're giving some gems for artists. Like if you're an artist, you should be looking for interviews.
And not only interview.
If you're
Look,
not, if you're
and
not, especially to
look. Straight up goods. Look, we reached out to podcasts out there, and they reached out to us. So
mm,
it's not only about making your music and making the
mm,
videos and all that. You want to campaign your music and all of that, right? Okay.
yeah,
So holler out to, besides radio stations, if you have your press kit, right? Holler out to the podcasts so over in the states as well, so
yeah,
that you could start, like, there's hundreds of them over
yes,
there, and you could start doing your own campaigning, and then
and
after
I
they're gonna promote you. You get what
yeah,
I'm
and
saying?
yo,
So that's another hidden gem for these new artists out there. I'm
and let me
saying,
tell you, the next hidden gem. We're part of a podcast community, and I've seen a lot of those people interview. So if you were to do like what Rastafari Samurai is saying, you'll be spread out
think
all
about it. Think
through.
about it. All right.
That's
Think
how
about
you get
it.
known.
All right. Think about it. Let me just hypothetically speak. How many states is there? 52 states?
52 states.
All right. And out of the 52 states, there probably, I don't know, majority of them will have podcasts or
Yeah,
radio
yeah.
stations,
You could be all over the
right? So
states.
that means you could concentrate almost 52 states or 40 states or 30 states or whatever on
Mm,
your own campaign by promoting your music, because you're doing it anyway, right?
yeah.
You already have it on, like, say, whatever, Spotify, Apple, whatever, and all of that. So now you have things to talk about with these peoples, with your music, your videos, and all of that. So, like, stop complaining why my
Mm.
music's not going in and all of this stuff. The answers are on right here where we're on the internet. You know what I mean? It's all
And
about
it's, you know what
using
it is?
the internet
It's the
as a tool.
you know what it is? It's part of egoism, thinking that, oh, I have maybe 20,000 followers. I'm
Yeah.
so big. People should be hollering at me. But
So how about,
no,
how about
doesn't
this?
go like that.
How about this?
People over
How
a
about
certain
this?
part
You
don't
got
know
twenty
you.
thousand followers, right? But now, if you let your 20,000 followers know that you're on this podcast, this radio, and this and this and
Then it'll
this,
work for you.
boom,
Yes.
boom, boom, it'll work
Yes.
for you now
So you
because
got
you
to
have
think like
all these
that.
followers, right?
No, but what it is, they're not thinking I'm going to reach out to that podcast in, for example, Virginia. They should be hollering at me. You
Well,
get what I mean?
one problem though. There's only one problem. There's only one problem. What did I say earlier? They don't know nothing about the saw.
Okay, for example, I'm gonna give
You,
you
you,
something.
you get what
Yo,
I
yo,
mean?
no, let me hit this. This is a gem no one thinks of. You could be a podcast, for example, like our brethren them from Virginia, right? Just starting off, right? Check this. A big artist from here who's very big jumps on their podcast,
Yep.
right? And when that big artist jumps on their podcast, they never knew you were as big in Toronto, but now their podcast is going to get a lot of attention because you jumped on it. And then
Exactly.
you get attention and you'll be big up in that area because
That's right.
those guys did not know you were as big at first, but
That's
you
right.
that interview is going to get attention.
Exactly. Precisely.
They're not thinking like that. I'm talking about the locals here. It could go vice
That's
versa.
what I'm
Like,
talking about.
the Americans are smart, straight up. They think like that.
Yeah.
They will come and do an interview here, no problem, less ego. They could even have 200,000 followers because we got that already,
That's called grind
200,000
in the game.
followers.
And that's
And
called
they
the
will,
grind.
and they'll pick, like, for example, Pinterest, bless up to her. She has over 200,000 followers,
Mm-hmm.
right? We interviewed her 2 times. Now, there's now vice versa now. If you're big here with 100,000 followers, are you gonna go look at podcasts what only has 3,000 followers in America? or even 500 followers on Instagram, you're not gonna go on their thing. It doesn't mean nothing because podcast is a different industry.
That's
You
right.
could have small followers on the gram and have a lot of followers on all the digital platforms. You know that, eh?
Said it's
There's
all
people like
about,
that.
just like I always say, just like with the music, get out of your lane, right? Stop being lazy and start doing your research and
Mm.
holler out to these platforms because you've been watching the states anyway. So why don't you watch what's going on the promo sense? You know what I mean? Like, you're watching the music, you're watching the culture, you're watching everything, but you're not watching your own promo.
And business. The main thing is this music
Right?
business.
You're not
The
watching
bad
your
word.
own promo. You're not watching your own promo. That's the way I'm looking at it. You're watching
No,
everything else.
you just see these people have a page and they have videos up, but you don't see that no one else. And I see the blogs in America recognizes them.
Yeah,
It's only the ones who get co-signed from Drake, like the big heads here. Let's
yeah,
be straight up. If you're co-signed by Drake, people know you. Like Roy Woods, people know him because of Drake.
yeah. Like I
Even
said,
pre, even artists we don't praise
it's-
here, like
and he's
they
like
recognize him because
fucking
Drake.
like the new gatekeeper. You
That's
hear
what it
me?
is. Like look, check this. Preem, his brethren, he's known in America, but
Hmm.
they don't celebrate him in Toronto like that. Not to say they don't give him respect, but he's not getting celebrate. Like they know him and whoever's linked with the OVO. That's what my thing. You're right. And whoever he co-signs down to that girl Lioness, that Lioness girl, right?
Hmm.
Is it? You know who I'm talking about? That girl there. No one ever thinks that. Why is Drake co-signing her?
Yeah.
And he co-signed her.
Hmm.
And a lot of, and she don't have the stereotypical, big, the selling the sex. She's not selling no sex, guy. Just look like this little innocent girl, and Drake co-signed her.
Yeah.
Out of all these ones here, I'm just putting it out there. What is that?
He's
Come on,
experimenting.
come on, man.
He's
You seen it?
experimenting.
You see,
He's trying to regenerate his own his own creation.
yes, because you're not gonna think Drake is gonna go for that girl. Not
That's
to
what I'm
respect
saying.
her, she has talent and sitting, but it's not like the stereotypical image that what's going on right now with most of the girls selling the sex, the
Yeah.
big, big tits, big, ass or all that shit. She's not selling that. This is a
Uh,
skinny Indian. I think she's a Indian girl or
yeah.
something. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's why I'm saying gatekeep. Maybe he's the new gate. I sense the new gatekeepers.
The new
It's
gatekeeper,
it's
man.
forming. You know who the new gatekeepers are? It's forming. It's still forming. There's a new gatekeepers though. There's new gatekeepers,
Hmm.
but it's like spread out now. It's like it's not just one. It's like two sides. New gatekeepers, but we don't care about the gate. No gatekeepers keeping us out.
Ah, man, we make our own keys.
We have it right. We make our own keys. We open every door. We're opening up every door, and there is no gatekeepers over here. And all of them know that. Everybody knows that. They all
Our
know
own
that.
keys. It's just a matter of the right door.
Yeah, the right door. The right door.
That's it.
But bless up to our new sponsor too, y'all. Dream Team Promotions. Yeah,
Game
man.
team promotions.
Many events every
Mhm.
Thursday night. This is gonna be going on every Thursday night. At Platinum Bar Lounge. Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Platinum Bar Lounge. You gotta check that out.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Platinum Lounge Bar, Kingston Road,
Mhm.
Scarborough. Every Thursday night and other nights they have events going on. So just check that out. It's on Instagram. We promote also, so check it out. Our new sponsor. Bless up. Many things coming up. Summertime's around the corner.
Mhm.
Hopefully more warmer weather comes because right
Well,
now it's kind of cold.
well, hopefully it'll be warming up in the next month. You know what I mean? We're trying to have our D2E annual barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, special invite only. You know what I mean? Straight up goods. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
It's our way of putting our
Giving
love
back,
to the industry of
giving
to
back to the
our city,
culture.
to our city. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Straight
Giving
up.
back to the
Good.
culture, man.
Yeah, man.
Because not too much people are doing nothing like that. No one's giving back. Everybody's just taking that.
Man,
No, no.
we doing what we can. We just doing what we can to expand. You know what I mean? Straight up goods. You know what I mean? That's the way me look at it. You know what I mean?
So, yo, universe, subscribe to our channels. Just hit that link
Exactly. Hit that
and
link.
the notification and all that good
Get up there.
stuff.
All the pages, D2E underscore podcast, Down to Earth podcast on the IG pages as
And
well.
Down to Earth Podcast Network. There's the new page we have too. So follow that one.
Exactly. You done know. But before we end this, as always, I always have to say this. You done know, man. This is the Rastafari Right Samurai. Never leaving you dry in your eye. I approve this message. Nation. What? You done know, people. Salute
D2E, Sean Myrie.
D2E. We are ending this broadcast just now. Done know, people. Thank you for tuning in.